The payment clears at 11:40 on a Tuesday night. $300 moved over from the account that was supposed to stay untouched. And by morning, you have a $50,000 trading account. You don't tell anyone. You never tell anyone. And that silence is the first symptom. Because this isn't your first evaluation. It's your third, maybe your fifth. And the industry that keeps selling you fresh ones already ran the numbers on how this ends. In the largest study of funded traders ever done, 300,000 accounts, 14% passed, 7% ever got paid. Not 70, 7. And here's the number that explains why nobody in that industry is losing sleep over it. The evaluation fee, not the payout, is the business. A company selling thousands of 93% fail evaluations doesn't need you to pass. It needs you to try again. You are not the customer of a trading company. You are the product of a probability company, and the probability was never supposed to move. Here's the sentence that should make you angry. You never had a $50,000 account. Nobody at that firm ever said out loud the number you were actually trading. That number has a fix. It's boring, it works, and by the end of this video, you'll have it. First, let me show you the machine you're inside, because it is a machine and it has a name. It starts the night the fee clears. The account says $50,000, so a careful trade feels absurd. $20 of risk on a $50,000 account? What is the point of $20? So you size up, $500 a trade, because you're not here to play. You're here to pass. And for a week, it works. That first win does something to you that has nothing to do with money. $870 you are not allowed to touch. But it isn't $870, it's evidence. Proof of something you've quietly suspected about yourself for years. That you see things other people miss. That you're early, not late. That this is the door. That's the cruelest part of the loop. It pays you an identity before it takes your fee. It needs you to believe. Then Thursday happens. One loss, business expense. The second loss, 20 minutes later, that one's personal. 2 trades, half your drawdown, gone. And something in your chest starts doing recovery math. We made an entire video about the 4 minutes that follow. On an evaluation, those 4 minutes have a different name, the end. It doesn't go to 0, it just stops. Then 30 days of silence. You delete the app. You watch the market from your phone like an ex you're pretending not to check. And here's what you do during those 30 days, because I know, and you know. You go looking for the reason. And the reason you find is always the strategy. The indicator was lagging. The guru was fake. The setup needed one more filter. So the next reset doesn't just buy a new account. It buys a new system and the same math. Pay, oversize, breach, blame the strategy, pay again. You've been interrogating the wrong suspect for years. That firm has a word for a customer like this, and it's on your invoice. Not trader, subscriber. And the loop isn't powered by greed, and it isn't powered by stupidity. It's powered by one small sentence of math that nobody at that firm will say out loud. So let's finally look at it. $500 of risk on a $50,000 account is 1%. That is what it looks like. But you cannot lose $50,000. You can lose $2,000. That's the drawdown, and the drawdown is the account. 500 on 2,000 is 25% per trade. Say your system is genuinely good. Say it wins half its trades, which would put you ahead of almost everyone. A coin that fair still throws 4 tails in a row all the time. Not rarely, routinely. Do the actual arithmetic. A fair coin lands 4 tails running one time in 16. At 1 trade a day, that's not a freak event. That's an ordinary week in your first month. At 25%, 4 straight losses is the whole evaluation. And the number that feels responsible doesn't save you either. $100 a trade. Careful, sensible. The number you'd tell a friend to use is 5% of what you can actually lose. 20 losses. You will see 20 losses, 7 in a row, which every real system produces, takes a third of everything before the strategy ever got the 50 trades it needed to show you what it was. Read that again because it's the whole video. Your strategy never failed. It never got to exist. 9 trades. That's the average lifespan of your last evaluation. 9 entries in a journal built for 500. You've never actually met your own system. You've only met its first bad week. 3 times in a row, on 3 different systems, and you sentenced all of them for the same crime the sizing committed. You weren't trading the system, you were trading a countdown. Now run the same coin at 1% of what you can actually lose. $20. 10 points on a single micro. Same system, same losing streak. 5 losses is a 5% dent. 7 is a bruise. 40. 40 consecutive losses, a streak so bad it basically doesn't happen, and you are still inside the drawdown. The account becomes something the market cannot kill, it can only teach. Want to see the whole thesis in one trade? Same setup, run twice. At $500 of risk, the trade starts and your body knows the stakes. This one matters, this one's a quarter of everything. Price dips against you, ordinary noise, and the 25% version of you cannot afford ordinary noise. So the stop gets moved, and the ordinary dip becomes the breach. Now the same setup at $20, same dip, same noise. You watch it with the detached interest of someone reading about weather in another city. The stop holds, the dip finishes, the trade pays. The setup never changed. The math changed who was sitting in the chair, which raises the question the whole loop depends on you never asking. If $20 wins can't pass an evaluation, and they can't, then what is a small account actually for? The answer is the part nobody selling you your next one wants you to hear. Here is the arithmetic the evaluation is built on, and once you have seen it, you can't unsee it. To pass, you must make $3,000. You are allowed to lose $2,000. The target is 1.5 times everything you have. No fund on earth asks a trader to return 150% of capital to keep the job. This one asks it before you start. At $20 a trade, a size that survives, you would need roughly 150 net winning trades to pass, while the monthly fee keeps clearing. At a size that could pass quickly, 4 losses end it. There is no size that both survives and passes, and that is not a flaw in the product, that is the product. Every promise that an evaluation can become an income this year is asking you to run the 25% math, the countdown, again. But here's what $300 can buy, and it isn't an evaluation. A small live account is the cheapest professional education that exists. Every $20 trade runs the exact same nervous system as a $500 trade. The same 8 seconds at the stop, the same whisper at the target, the same hands. You're not trading for the $20. You're buying 10,000 repetitions at a price that cannot end your career. And no, the demo account doesn't count, and you already know why. You've been calm and profitable on paper. Everyone is. And be honest about what an evaluation is. A simulator with an invoice. The fee is real. The money never was. Because the demo removes the only thing you're actually here to train, the feeling. 0 real dollars at risk is 0 repetitions for your nervous system. 20 real dollars is the minimum effective dose, small enough to survive, real enough to sting, and the sting is the curriculum. Demo teaches your eyes. 20 real dollars teaches your hands. You already know the story of the trader who turned a few hundred into millions. Everyone's watched that video. What the story always skips is the stretch in the middle where the account wasn't growing. The trader was. There's an old line about compounding. The seed isn't food. Every evaluation you've breached, you ate the seed in week 1 because $20 didn't feel like trading. And be honest about what that feeling is. $20 doesn't feel like trading because $20 doesn't pay the click. That's not ambition. That's the dopamine engine we named in the 90% video, asking for a dose the size it's used to. The loop was never about money. A $50,000 number on the screen just makes the bets feel professional. So here's the boring decision I promised you. One number, decided once, on a calm Sunday, never renegotiated at 11:40 on a Tuesday. Take what you can actually lose, not the number printed on the account, the drawdown, and find 1% of it. That's your risk, per trade, not a discussion. Write the streak sentence under it because that sentence is the fix. 40 losses can't kill me. Then make the number physical, because Sunday you won't be in the room when it matters. Bracket order on every entry. Stop and target placed with the trade, so the 8 seconds have nothing to vote on. 2 losses, platform closes. And the journal gets 1 question per trade. Did I follow the plan? Because on a tuition account, that column is the profit column. One more rule, because I know exactly when you're planning to break this. The graduation rule. You do not size up after a good week. You size up after 100 trades at 90% plan compliance, and then only one step. A good week is weather. 100 disciplined trades is climate. The loop promotes you on weather. That's how it gets you back to 500 a trade. Promote yourself on climate and the promotion sticks. And build the number where weather can't reach it. Set the max position size in the platform's own settings, not in your memory. Willpower negotiates. A locked setting doesn't take the call at 11:40 on a Tuesday. Here's what happens next, and I won't dress it up. For a while, nothing. The account crawls. The click never gets its dose. Some weeks, the only thing that grows is the checkmark column. That flat stretch has a name. It's where most traders quit, and it deserves its own video, because it's the last stage before the one you've been chasing. But stand in it long enough, at a size that can't kill you, and one day the math flips. The skills you bought with $20 trades start compounding on real size, and the account that finally funds you won't be an evaluation. It'll be the one this one built. And before the mirror, do one piece of career math with me, the one that hurts. 5 evaluations, 300 each. That's $1,500 you've already fed the loop, in fees, and not $1 of it ever reached a market. $1,500 deposited once into one real account and sized at 1% survives any losing streak you will ever produce and funds the entire education, start to finish. You never needed a bigger number on the screen. You needed the money you had to be allowed to survive. So, the number on the card is 1% of what you can actually lose. The streak sentence is 40 losses can't kill me. And the account was never $50,000. It was always $2,000, and the risk was always too big for it. Before you go, be honest with me and with the 11,000 other people reading this comment section. How many evaluations have you paid for? Type the number. Just the number. You'll scroll down expecting to be the only 4. You won't be, and that's the point. If the 4 minutes after a loss are what breached your last account, that video is on this channel. So is the one naming the 4 engines behind all of this. Subscribe if you're building the boring version, the one that works. Because somewhere tonight, right now, another $300 is clearing at 11:40. Somebody is buying a $50,000 account that is really $2,000. They won't tell anyone either. They don't know about the loop yet. You do.